Welcome back to the channel. If you see the title or thumbnail, then you know what we're talking about. Adobe app finally comes to Android. And I want to first say thank you for coming. If you like this content that you see, please consider leaving a like and subscribe, or perhaps even sharing. All right, back to the video. All right, so I want to say that initially this video was going to be totally different than what it is now. Like I said, this app has come to Android. Now, I believe I've looked at this before. For those who don't know, this channel is mostly focused on Chromebooks and kind of Android phones. But I do have, just for obvious sake, an iPhone, I have an iPad. And so this app, this Photoshop app, I believe either last year or a few months ago, did come out on iOS. When it came to Android, I just was scrolling the internet and saw an article that said, hey, it's on Google Play. So I downloaded it. And so I was at work at the time. So they got saying to where you could download to other devices. And so this being a channel that's more focused on Chromebooks, I had the app downloaded to a Chromebook first. And so what the video was going to be about is this being based on a tutorial. So you'll see things like that right now. And I just went through the video and
Okay, this graphic is just something I made in one Google AI image generators. These options should seem familiar. So like over here, these ones that have this symbol on the top right corner, that means you will have to pay for them. Maybe they'll let me download it, but there will be a watermark somewhere. And you see it's got this little slider switch here so I can intensify it or just make it dark so I can play around with it. I'm writing a book, and this is like one of the main characters. And a lot of these overlays seem to be a little too busy. So we enter the text here. I'm going to call them gray. Anyway, I'm going to stick with white, but just know you can change the color of these things. So this little AI tool right here, going to auto enhance. And I like how they did that.
just like looking at these little features, what you can do on this app, how does it compare? Now, there's also a PWA version that came in the Chrome OS store, and I was going to do a video on that, so I thought, well, put it all together because these things came close to each other. I said like a month apart, and I was going to bounce between the app and the web app, so the Android app and the web app, see if there are any differences, that kind of thing, and do the same thing there. But it being on Android, and I said I'm not bugged doing things on Android, I went through the app on my phone, and instantly I noticed some differences. Now, of course, it being on a small screen on my 14-inch Dragonfly Pro, of course, it's going to look a little different. But I didn't expect for the features to also be different. So in the Chromebook version, when you open it up, all you could do was photos, not videos, just your photos. So I said, okay, fine. Because in the web app is basically Photoshop for the web. However, when I enter the mobile version, I have the photo editor, of course, but I also get video and I believe some camera functions, some AI kind of generative AI tools that only come on this version. So you can see right here. So you can see like there are some versions of the app. Sorry, but it takes a while for it to focus. And I was like, that's different. I don't get the same options on my Chromebook. It's still, if you already have Photoshop, if you are into the ecosystem, especially if you already have Creative Cloud, then this is included. Yes. So Photoshop app has free things that you use in it, but of course, a lot of their effects and filters are going to be in a paywall, which you pay for monthly or annually. And I believe annually comes out to about $100. But if you already have Creative Cloud, then this app is already included. And again, I do have Photoshop accounts not paid right now because I don't use Photoshop. I use it off and on, maybe just to look at the features and see if it fits into my workflow. Little note, So what I have here is the free version. And one of the things I use a photo editor for is just to convert files. There's times where I want to use a file in my video editing, and where I got it from, it comes out to a file type that is not a PNG or a JPEG, and I a photo editor to just transfer. And for some reason, the Photoshop app couldn't do it. Unsupported, couldn't even upload the file. So that kind of answers my question: is it going to be right for me? But I thought, okay, I have also the Pixel tablet. Haven't done a video on this yet. Kind of recently just got it. I opened up the Photoshop app on here, and it's the same. Basically, all I have access is to the photo editor. That's all. So wait a minute. So it's not just for Chromebooks. They built it so it'll act differently on larger screens, which kind of made me a little annoyed, honestly. See, one of the reasons I do not use Adobe, again, like I said, this video is not going to be like this. If you already have Photoshop, go ahead, download this app. It's not just Adobe, there's other companies that do this to where they want their app to be only used on mobile devices. But Google, how their vision is that they're expanding to larger devices such as tablets and Chromebooks. And I'm sure they have aspirations. They already have Google Play on PC. And what they envision Android being is for basically all screens. And that is not the vision that a lot of companies want to get on board with. They have to make it proportionate to the screen they're on. So they have to make it fit, but that's all they're willing to do. So I don't like how they're gatekeeping certain features. In fact, I also have an iPad, and I'm curious, are they the same on both operating systems? All right, so a little bit of time skip. I had things to do, and so I'm filming this later. It's the lighting and the time of day. So where I left off at was I wondered if the app was the same or different on iOS. Now I looked at the iOS mobile app on the iPhone, and then I looked at the Photoshop app on iPad because I have the mini here. And I gotta say, it is different. It's not still is not all the features that you get on the phone, so wasn't quite around that. Although I can see that still on the iPad app, I seem to have more options than the app that I would get on an Android tablet, such as the Pixel tablet that I have in the back. When I create new, I seem to have an option to create graphics for Instagram and Facebook, YouTube, X, and like TikTok. So this isn't the first time that an app has more features or is just all around better on the iOS side of things, but it does show me just how convoluted I think Adobe's software is, or at least their packages of experience, what have you. So certain apps just don't run on certain devices. Case in point, Adobe Rush. Now, if I'm in the Photoshop app that I've been using, I can, on the phones, use the video editor. I cannot use the video editor once I go some a screen size beyond the phone. So any tablet or especially on a Chromebook, it is different. While I can use video on the Photoshop app here, I do seem to have more control, more robust when it comes to graphics. Now, it could be because this right here, the Apple Pencil, even though the Pixel tablet does have pen support. However, it's my experience that they keep certain features specifically away from Chrome OS, at least from my vantage point. For example, you can't use Adobe Rush on a Chromebook. You can use Adobe Rush on the tablet, on all the tablets and all the phones. You can download the feature. However, you cannot use it on the Chromebook. And there are Chromebooks that are tablet based. And even though I don't have a Chrome tablet. I've had convertibles, and it seems to not matter. I think there are just certain features that do not want on the Chromebook. So that's my view. So that's my shortish review. Again, I've already given my recommendation of if you should get this app or not. Just so you know, based upon what device you have, it is going to be different. So if you have it on Android and maybe you're hoping to use this on your Chromebook, I don't think that option exists. If you were trying to do it all in one, if you're using a Chrome OS device or an Android device, it's almost better to use phone and tablet than an actual full desktop experience that we have on Chrome OS. So that's it. I'll probably do more videos on Adobe later. They just have a lot of products. I don't know if I've done a comparison about Adobe Express, and that's another thing. They just have so many apps, and some apps do the same thing, or there's just integrated. It's a little bit confusing, if I'll be honest with you. But that's going to do it for today. Tell me down in the comments, are you going to use this Adobe app that's now come to Android? Thank you for coming. God bless. Take care.